Okay, so I might want to move a little closer. So this is going to be just a quick Q&A from the video that I posted the other day about being homeless in Atlanta and how I became homeless in Atlanta. And I'm just going to do this while I'm having my dinner, which today I'm having Chili's. So I just got some, I guess these are called sliders right here, some sliders. And I love the fried cheese. And then I got my sauces. I'm gonna put over here. This is like some different sauces. And the egg, Southwestern egg rolls, which I guess because I got it to go, they didn't cut them like how they were when you eat in the restaurant. But that's fine. It all's going down the same place. And of course, I couldn't have Chili's without my salsa and chips and my panini chicken, Southwest chicken, and some bread. So I'm gonna just munch on my lunch and answer the questions that I got regarding some of the events that I'm gonna scoot up some of the events that, here we go, I think that's better, that occurred throughout that story time. So yeah, feel free to have a bite with me if you like cheese. I ate it, but no. For the most part, my videos will be authentic. This is me. Hate it or love it. You know, maybe later on, you know, I'll get pretty and more professional. But right now, I hope you just love me for who I am. So, again, that's spicy. A little bit spicy. I wonder if they gave me an option to choose what kind of salsa, because I usually like their salsa, but that one is kind of hot. And I like hot, so it's hot. So, okay. There were some questions that was obviously answered based on my story. And I'm going to just go down the list. It's not that many, but there was a few questions that people wanted me to address. Like, one, why didn't I go stay with family in another state? So that was the one question. You know, I don't have family I could stay with out of state. And my answer to that is, when I was going through that at that time, I actually had family there, which for whatever reason, you know, basically told me that they didn't know the seriousness of our situation at the time, because I never personally asked them to stay. I just knew that they knew the situation, and they offered, you know, like a money for a hotel room for a day or two, but that was it, you know. And that part is what it is. So that's for that question. And the second part of that question, answer for that question is, I have family that lived far away. So here's the thing with me. Like, it had to, even though it was bad, moving back to my stomach is hungry. The food is coming. It's growling. But moving back to my home state had been options for me in the past. But the last time I left my home state, I said I wasn't coming back. But only to visit, not to ever live. So my sister, she she did say, come home. But I knew that wouldn't be like a smart choice for me at that moment. I would rather just try to have figured it out for myself, because it would have been easy for me to, hop on the road and drive all the way to, my hometown. But then what? Because I didn't plan on living there. So, one thing I've learned is, even when you're in situations, because I've done certain things in the past, like jumped the gun and said, well, let me just do this temporarily until I figure it out. It's good to do that, but it's also good to draw the line, where to do that, or when to do that. Because if I had no intentions on coming back home to, live, then I should be putting my energy into what my next move is going to be, that's going to get us more stable, if that makes sense. So I didn't just jump on the highway and just leave everything and just run home until I figured out, because I knew, excuse me, and it's just my opinion, options as far as getting on my feet, I feel like wouldn't have been there for me. Like, to each his own, but for me, I don't think options would have been there for me fast enough, because I wasn't really trying to stay with anybody, especially, for too long. Anybody I stayed with was just, a couple of weeks. That was my only lifeline I needed, was like a couple weeks. But that's a long way to have traveled, for just a couple weeks. I was trying to find stability for us ASAP. And I feel like it would just prolong my situation, had I made it decision to do that. So I tried to figure it out as fast as I could without doing that. But I appreciated the offer. And so, okay, so the next question was, what happened to the friend that suggested that you come down there? I'm glad you asked. But okay, so initially when I told that story, there's a reason why I left that part out on purpose. And they were assuming, the person that asked the question was assuming that it was a male. No, this was a friend, like this was a female friend. This wasn't like some guy that I moved down there. I can honestly say, besides my children's father, my ex-husband, I've never moved anywhere for a guy, ever. And the only reason I moved, then was because we had children. I don't move anywhere for no guy. So this was just a friend, a genuine friend, like family. We had been friends for some years, like I'm losing count now, but I would say close to 30. Maybe close to 30 years. You know, and every time we would always talk, they would always suggest. And it's weird because I'm just going to say this. I haven't talked to them since then. Since that happened to me. Because, you know, like, I mean, I'm not going to assume anything. I just know that the communication stopped once stuff hit the fan for me. You know, like, there was some stuff that was said about, you know, why don't you pay your bill or something. You know, it was some stuff that was said that confused me. Because I remember when that person first moved, you know, there themselves. And for a year, they struggled their first year there. And I remember making a phone call to a close friend of mine that I grew up with, that's like family, to see if they could find a job for them. So, you know, we should understand when you move to Atlanta, it's going to be hard your first few months. So, I'm not going to really talk too much on that. But that's why I didn't get or go stay or get help, you know, from that friend. It was kind of like a, you know, you on your own type of situation is how I felt. So, never talked about it, never got closure on it. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. And, let me see. Okay, so the next question was, would I ever consider moving? Now, would I ever consider moving back there? Now, in my video that I initially did about that, I think I answered this question because I said, like, you know, I've always had wanted to move there, thinking that that was where I needed to be to pursue my my craft and my passion. That experience that I had there made me change my mind about that, because you know how, like, you want to do something so bad, or you want to go somewhere so bad, and you haven't, like, I had been there to visit once or twice, but I never really, like I've been there. Like, I had just kind of was there for a day or two to visit friends or something, you know, to visit people in them, or for an event or something. But I never have been there long enough to know how it really is there. And I promise you, I still like Atlanta. But I like it for a visit, and then I'm out. I don't want to live there. Okay, let me say this now, because I want to be clear. Let's just say, hypothetically, I got like a business offer, and it just so happens that I had to move to Atlanta to do that business. I want to say I still want to move there, but I'm not turning down no, you know, offers that's life-changing or something I've worked so hard for. So I'm not turning down offers. So I would move there, but I would probably, you know, move there to handle the business. But it wouldn't be like I'm here for life, you know. It would be, okay, how long is this project, you know? And I would, you know, find a comfortable place to stay. I wouldn't uproot my family, which my kids are grown now. Well, you know, my youngest, she's 18, but So now I'm at a point where I can afford to uproot myself, go somewhere and find a 1-bedroom something, and work, get down and handle business, shut it down, and then go back home to where I really want to reside. So for that question, no, but if an opportunity came that I needed to go back there, I'm not above it, because I like Atlanta, but it's nowhere I want to just say this is going to be home for the rest of my life. Not for me. Because my thing is, like I said, the snakes or whatever, but it ain't even just the snakes. It's just where I am now. I'm not nervous in traffic. I don't mind driving around and all day or whatever, doing stuff. It's things to do. Nothing is congested or overcrowded. Like, traffic gets a little crazy at a certain time of day, but you pretty much know, okay, this certain time of day, I'm gonna just either scuff it out or I'm gonna wait it out. And that's that. But in Georgia, I was liable to be stuck in traffic on the highway trying to get home because they was having car accidents all the time. And don't think I'm talking bad about Georgia. It has its perks. It's just, with me getting older, I don't want all that traffic. I don't want snakes. I don't want just I mean, it's nice there. Like, it's nice there. It's just, I was trying to think, like, I don't want to have to drive an hour to get somewhere, because that's a given too. It's like a lot of places are just spread out to where, like, if I meet somebody 9 times out of 10, they live an hour away this way, and I live an hour away this way. And then if we want to go somewhere, we got to drive downtown in traffic, Around here, it's peaceful. If I want to meet somebody somewhere, I ain't got to be driving through traffic, because most places are 20 minutes away. Majority of the time, especially if you hit the highway. Like, if you're going somewhere far, once you get to the highway, it's probably about 20 minutes tops, But there was like 45 minutes tops or an hour. So I don't want to drag that question, but I don't think I would go back there because I've gotten that out of my system. And plus, I've asked my kids that question because there were certain things I wanted them to do while they was there, and they was like, "We good on that." Yeah, they wasn't feeling the traffic, and I guess probably the bad experience too. But I don't think it was just the bad experience, because before we had the bad experience, they were already kind of saying they wasn't feeling it there. But let me say, I'm about to go on vacation there. They're going to jump right on it. Because it's cool to go there and have a nice time. But once the nice time is over, time to go back to, like, some peace and quiet. To be honest, I'd have high blood pressure. For real, if I lived there for the rest of my life. Yeah. So, I think it was like one more question. I don't know. This is more not really a question. I think they was trying to be funny or something. They were saying that I don't even know if I want to say that, but basically saying that I'm pretty, and thank you, and that I could have found, you know, like a guy to, you know, help us and stuff like that. And I appreciate that. I really do. That's a compliment. But I've never been the type to depend on like a guy to fix my problems. No. Now, if you're offering to sincerely help, I will take it. But if it comes with strings attached and all that, because I'm pretty, you know, I don't want nothing to do with it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'll take help if, you know, a man wants to help. But I wasn't setting out looking for a man to help. I've never been a use what you got to get what you want, you know, type of person. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But I appreciate the compliment. But yeah, I was in full mommy mode, you know. That's kind of not in me to do, you know. I can't say I've never taken help from a man, because I have and I will, you know. But there's certain red tape and precautions before I do that, like, you know what I'm saying, without details, because I didn't read the person's message entirely, but I get what they're saying. And so I think that's it. I'm full. And I hope that was a good little mukbang topic conversation, Q&A. I'm going to close it right here because I just wanted to, you know, get those questions answered before I start working on my next story time or vlog or whatever I decide to do. But I think it's going to be I think this one's going to be a story time too. So again, I appreciate the followers that I have. I appreciate you for supporting me. It will only get better as I go. I'm new to this. Bear with me. If you haven't and you came across this video and you liked my conversation, my story, my Q&A, my page, period, please hit that like button, subscribe, and pause. This might backfire on me, but it's okay. I have to say this. If you didn't like me and you don't want to hit that like button, please just scroll by. You don't have to push the dislike button. Please. Especially not now. I'm trying to build my following. I mean, I had to put that out there because I'll be honest. Like, I'm working really hard. And, you know, I'm trying. And y'all just don't know. Like, I mean, I want you to be honest, but my grandma always told me, like, if you can't say something nice, then don't say nothing at all. Like, I see people content all the time, and, you know, some stuff I'm not feeling, so I just scroll on by. But I wouldn't dare because, you know, I know they're a content, you know, creator or whatever, and I don't want to just, you know, bash them. Like, now, the only time I've ever did a dislike is if somebody was, like, bullying or whatever, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, I'd be like, oh, that's not cool. But that's the only thing. But other than that, it is what it is. So, I'm full and I'm finished. And thank you for watching. Champ out.